politics, business, relationships, love, spirituality, current Black news, and pop culture events that may not receive sufficient exposure in mainstream media. We hope you like the new look. Although this is real news, I will put my own vibe to it. So I encourage everyone to do more research. Now let's get to it.
If you want to talk about guns, why is it that there's a gun shop on almost every corner in this community? Why? Tell you why. For the same reason that there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the Black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that. Why is it that there's a gun shop on almost every corner in this community? Why? Tell you why. For the same reason that there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the Black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that.
Oops, what is up? Okay, there we go. My mic sound nice, check one. My mic sound nice, check two. Y'all know nothing about that. Hey everybody, it's your girl, Freshness, Nessa, Sharnessa. I go by them all. I'm glad that you're here with me. I do know that there's some people watching, or I'm just being hopeful, but either or, the show must go on. And apologize because I did want to have it up I want to be on here by 7:00, but I had to make sure that there was no copyright issue, so I had to distort the videos. So when you see the videos and they look a little weird, like it's the 1970s and you got to hit your TV, that's the aesthetic of the show, but that also is because of copyright reasons, as well as me speaking to you guys, talking to you guys, listening to you guys, and maybe cutting the video, stopping the video for a second or two to have a conversation and restarting the video. So I just want you to know why I'm doing the things I'm doing, because there were some questions before. People love to give some advice, child. They probably ain't never tried to put a podcast together, never tried to, even do what I'm doing, but they'll give you some advice in a minute. Some people I listen to, those that faithfully actually support me, engage with me, and watch me, because I know that they're coming from a good place and that they actually pay attention to my shows. But if you don't even know anything about any of my episodes, please don't give me no advice. I'm not accepting it. And I will let you know that I won't accept it. So if you don't want to, get your feelings hurt respectfully, then don't approach me with any advice until you start watching me and supporting me. All right. Okay. Just wanted to get that disclaimer out the way. It's good to be back on this season 2. And just so you know, my seasons have 5 episodes. So if you have never watched Protect Black Women series, please go check out season 1. Hopefully if you do start with season 2, maybe it'll pique your interest to want to go back and see the others. So let's get into it, shall we? I do want to say that putting these videos together is never easy. They are extremely disturbing sometimes and very emotional, and it does take a toll. And sometimes I even can't even sleep, like, because of the fact that I'm also an empath. So how weird is it that I'm an empath and I am putting together videos like this, right? Um, I'm sacrificing some things, and also I got God on my side. So I be rebuking, fighting, intercede, asking people to intercede, praying, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I feel that these videos and the conversations is important to have, especially in our culture. And me being a Black woman, I have lived through abuse on so many different levels, and that's pretty much all I'll disclose at this moment. But this actually hits close to home, and I just want to say, ladies, please go by energy with people. Um, I have lived pretty much all over the United States, you can say. And one of the biggest things that I do now is I go by energy with people. Friends, family, whatever, it doesn't matter, because, you know, um, some of these videos, it's majority of them are people that is extremely close to the victims. And so you can never like rule that out because somebody is family. Uh, and that is what you'll see. And so it's like discernment, intuition, energy, vibes. It's a reason why those exist. It's a reason why we call it what we call it. I prefer discernment and energy, of course, but it is what it is. Negative energy, positive energy. When you have a very sensitive spirit, you can definitely discern a lot of things or feel a lot of things. And sometimes we give people the benefit of the doubt, and we know that they shouldn't even be in our lives. We know that God is trying to tell us something. We know that even if it's for a season, we need to stay away from them until maybe God works on them, or there's a connection again for some reason, if we're supposed to be in their life. But at the end of the day, please, I'm telling you, the best thing that I have ever done is to start going by energy, in the vibe, in the connection, when it comes to allowing people in my space or having people in my life, because of the fact that I have lived away from family. I have lived away from um, dear friends of mine that I grew up with. I have lived away from a lot of different people. So that was all that I had to depend on, was my discernment, and the energy that that person gave me for me to be able to survive in major cities and succeed. And I feel like if a lot of us or majority of us do this, then we will meet the right people that should be in our lives, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, or whatever it may be. And trust and believe, you're going to see a lot of people dwindling. But the number one thing you have to know is you got to be confident in yourself. You got to be secure, and you have to not care what others think, say, do, feel. That's important. And once you get to a certain age, that should start happening. When people are younger, yeah, they care too much about what people think. And it's some older people that care. But when you living for a purpose, you continue to just focus on that. And I ain't about to be preaching. I ain't all that, as far as like about to be preaching and all that stuff. But I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. All right. So with that being said, let's see. to, hold on. Oh, there we go. I'm here. Yeah, I just wanted to get that out the way. So today we will discuss different stories of these beautiful angels, young, old. Then I got my candle lit. Young, old. Man, I even got a toddler on here, so y'all get ready for the tissue. Um, and I'm hoping that if this is your first time like actually watching the episodes, that you start to, we be having like these little viewing parties for, like, I ain't gonna say unnecessary things, that would be judging because people like what they like, but we do have like little viewing parties for Love is Blind and all that different type of stuff. Y'all, women get they snacks and start to converse about that. So let's get our snacks and let's converse with another bunch of group of women about these situations and how we can help in deterring some things. Okay? Or trying, at least, or coming together in the name of sisterhood and keeping each other lifted. And before I start, I want to show y'all my shirt, which I will be probably bringing back and adding names to it. This is my Protect Black Women shirt. And shout out to everybody who supported this cause when it was created. This shirt, it wasn't a lot made, but I totally appreciate the people that support it and that still rock it. There's some people that actually still rock this shirt. So thank you. It'll come back though, unfortunately. All right. So the first young lady that I want to discuss is Mahogany Jackson. And right now I am still in the process of researching this. I do have the actual video of the situation, but I'm not going to show that on this one. But you will see the Mahogany Jackson situation on each episode because it's still unfolding. And this situation is about a young lady who had friends, and it's always a gang of friends. You know, um, rest in peace to Shanquella. It's the same like the Cabo situation. This is they're calling this the Birmingham 8 or something like that, where a bunch of her so-called friends got her at a house, and but the things that they did to her is so despicable. And so one of them was videotaping, and there was a couple of people, YouTubers, that actually got the footage of it and showed it. And I did see it, but like I said, that'll probably be the last episode of this series that I'll actually show that, or as I get into it. But right now, today, I'm just going to discuss the basic situation that happened. So the basic, I shouldn't say basic, but the beginning of when this started, and this is from like the news. Okay. All right. So check this out and then we'll discuss it. Let's see here.
Dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Amen. Now, we all have our precious moments and memories of Mahogany. Stop for a moment as we have these candles. This is still her. She's still with us. Though she has been taken from our hand, but never our heart. Never our heart. Mahogany, we love you. Please be with us, God, as we release these balloons as a token of our love for her. letting go, but yet holding on. We love you. Love can keep us together. Think about those precious moments. Think about those precious times that we've had. Nothing can destroy that. And for this, we say thank you. We release these balloons on the count of 3 as a token of our love. 1, 2, 3. Long live Muhammad. We love you. 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 Yes. Family, let us hold to God's unchanging hand. Earth has no sorrows that heaven cannot heal. United we stand, bonded together in love. This concludes our memorial service. We're not here to do anything but say we love Muhammad. There's no show. There's no performance here. The only thing we offer is our love. Forgiveness is within us. Give us our space as we travel this road. Thank you. Will you dismiss with me? Well, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we're absent one from the other. It is in Jesus' name we believe.
Okay, so this was the visual, and I thought this was, I won't lie, I thought this was actually the news situation with what happened, but this was her visual and sorry, I said visual, like, oh my gosh, please forgive me, but this was her visual. And, I kind of got a little sad, hearing the background and the different things that was happening on this. So if you guys have not heard about this story, since this is not the actual video of what I was trying to put on here, I'll discuss a little bit about it. So this story is about a young lady who, her and one of her friends had kind of fell out, and they kind of fell out, and I think that they wind up getting into a fight at a gas station or somewhere like that, a store. And I think that Mahogany got the best of her. And I can't go into detail as to what they were fighting for, but what I'll do is I'll show it on the next episode. I'll show it on episode 2 and talk more in detail about it. So they wind up getting into a fight, And they wind up, like I said, luring the girl. She went over there. They did they beat her up and they took her in the bushes, and you know, they the men sexually abused her, and the girl spit on her and watched. This is like 7 people at this time doing all this to this girl. They did some other things too, but they put her in a trunk and she wound up calling her mom. But her mom was at the Atlanta airport getting ready to board or something like that, so she didn't get the phone call. But then once she, I think, uh, heard a message or seen a text or something, she immediately reached out to somebody so that they could, figure things out. And so the girl pretty much kind of was quick on her feet with some of the different things that she did to try to, save her own life, which sucks, man, but she was quick on her feet with that part. And that kind of helped with like the tracking of the locations and the different things like that. So we'll discuss this more on episode 2. But I am glad that I seen a visual because they just had the funeral as well, and I put that in my notes to watch just to kind of see, what happened with that. But it's so many YouTubers that's talking about this, and people that lives in YouTubers that live in Birmingham that's talking about this. It's like really crazy because some of those YouTubers are very close to the situation, as to knowing these people. And so, it's just a sad case. But this right here was that you never know people, you know, because some people were saying it was because her mother does taxes and her mom got her a bunch of good tax money and they were trying to rob her. And if that's the case, it's the same situation with Cabo when it came to the jealousy and the envy. And this young lady, Shanquella, was able to get her money and to be able to succeed in business and also make sure that her friends and everybody was taken care of, by, footing the bill for the trip. So it's messed up. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to the next one, which this one right here is family. This is Alexis Watkins. This story is really sad because of the fact that she lost her life because of an Xbox, because of Wi-Fi. You know what I'm saying? Like, because her little brother was upset because his Wi-Fi was slow on the Xbox, and he was disrespecting his mom, and she was protecting her mom. Like, this is crazy. But I'm gonna let y'all watch this and then we'll talk about it after the fact. All right. Okay.
Of 19-year-old Alexis Watkins, a loving daughter and devoted mother to her son. Sadly, during a devastating family dispute, Alexis stepped in to protect her mom from her 16-year-old brother. Shockingly, in front of their mom and 13-year-old brother, he placed Alexis in a 15-minute chokehold that brutally ended her life. How could this happen, and what would make a family dispute escalate to murder? Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Macon, Georgia. Macon, nestled in the heart of the state, is a charming city steeped in Southern hospitality and rich history. Macon exudes Southern charm with its historic architecture and vibrant cultural scene. However, beneath its picturesque facade lies a tale of tragedy that shook the community to its core. Alexis Brianna Atkins, a 19-year-old resident of Macon, Georgia, shared her home with her family, including her 16-year-old brother Kevon Watkins, her mother Latoya Watkins, her 13-year-old brother, and her beloved son. Alexis shared a strong bond with her mother, and she respected her mom for all the wisdom she passed on throughout her life. She shared a post on her social media account to celebrate her mother on her birthday. "Stop what you're doing and wish my mama a happy birthday. I can't count how many times I've rolled my eyes at the things you've told me about life just to find out they're all true, and I can't even thank you enough for making me the woman I am, well becoming. So thank you for everything, Granny Panties." Cameron calls her that, laughing out loud. "I love you. I really do, and enjoy your day, beautiful." Alexis was full of life and energy. Known for her outgoing personality and zest for life. In a relationship with her high school sweetheart, Alexis openly expressed her affection through countless photos and videos, showcasing their love to the world.
Yeah, look who here.
The two would later get engaged. Alexis would become pregnant with her first child.
Nah, I ain't got my airport yet. I'm waiting. Cause my pains really ain't that bad. So I'm waiting. Okay. I'll be back, y'all. I gotta get in some questions.
She would give birth to a baby boy named Cameron. She poured her heart and soul into being the best mother she could be, cherishing every moment and milestone with him.
Hey. Say hey. Say hey.
Together with her high school sweetheart, they formed a tight-knit and loving family, and Alexis eagerly anticipated the joys that each new stage of motherhood would bring. Sadly, Alexis's life would take a devastating turn on February 2, 2018. On this day, Alexis's 16-year-old little brother, Kevon Watkins, returned home from school and wanted to play his Xbox. He was angry when his game system appeared to be too slow. Attributing the problem to too many users on the Wi-Fi network, he decided to change the family's Wi-Fi password so no one else could use it. This seemingly minor decision ignited a series of events that would end in unimaginable tragedy. Kevon's 13-year-old brother realized what he had done and went to go tell their mother. After learning of what Kevon had done, his mother unplugged the internet router and went to remove his Xbox from his room, which made him even more angry. Kevon, now extremely upset, confronted his mother, trying to fight her. He pushed her away and said, "I don't want to hit you." As tensions flared, Alexis bravely stepped in, fearing for her mother's safety, as Kevon's anger escalated. Alexis grabbed Kevon in a bear hug and told him to chill out and to stop trying to fight with their mother. The conflict between Kevon and Alexis intensified, eventually leading to a physical altercation that spilled onto the ground. What followed was a horrifying turn of events. Kevon, in a fit of rage, subjected his sister to a prolonged chokehold, lasting an agonizing 15 minutes. The mother and the 13-year-old brother tried to separate the two, but Kevon threatened to harm his mother, so she ran to call 911. As she waited for police to arrive, Kevon continued to hold his sister tightly around her neck. When authorities arrived, Kevon still had a tight grip around his sister's neck. At this point she was unconscious, and her body was limp, but Kevon still wouldn't let go. Kevon's little brother had also called 911 on him, calling Kevon crazy. When he called, he said the following: "My brother is trying to hit my mother." The dispatcher asked, "Is he on medication?" And the 13-year-old said, "No. He's just crazy. He put her in a chokehold, threatening to beat my mom, trying to get him off my sister." Despite their mother's pleas and the arrival of law enforcement, Kevon refused to release his grip until ordered to do so by the deputies. Tragically, it was too late. After a 15-minute-long chokehold, deputies could not resuscitate her. Alexis was rushed to a hospital, where they were able to resuscitate her and admitted her to the intensive care unit. She was diagnosed with cardiorespiratory failure and anoxic brain injury, a condition resulting from a lack of oxygen to the brain. Despite efforts, Alexis suffered another cardiac arrest, leading to irreversible brain damage and failure of multiple organs. Tragically, she passed away the following day. The medical examiner concluded that Alexis's cause of death was anoxic brain injury, resulting from asphyxiation and the subsequent deprivation of oxygen to her brain. From the extensive damage to her organs, they determined that she was without oxygen for about 15 minutes. Authorities immediately arrested Kevon, and he was charged with the murder of his sister. Kevon waived his right to a jury trial and opted for a bench trial, believing that he would have a better chance if the judge heard the case and decided his fate instead of the jury. The trial, lasting 2 grueling days, offered a glimpse into the harrowing events that unfolded that fateful day. Testimonies painted a grim picture of a family torn apart by senseless violence and irreparable loss. Testimony from a deputy described how he found the teen choking his sister when he arrived on the scene. Kevon's attorneys wanted involuntary manslaughter, stating that Kevon was holding Alexis in self-defense because she hit him first and he didn't let go out of fear she would harm him. The mother also testified that Alexis hit her brother first, but throughout the trial, it became evident that Kevon's actions constituted felony murder, as he knowingly engaged in a violent act that resulted in his sister's death. The judge found him guilty on felony murder because his 13-year-old brother tried to get him to stop choking his sister, but he refused. Despite his youth at the time of the crime, the severity of his actions resulted in him receiving a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
A Macon teen is sentenced to life in prison for choking his.
I'm sorry. I just want to stop it there real quick. Because remember, I told y'all copyright reasons too now. Okay. Okay. All right. No, but keeping it 100 though, like before we even get to anything else, just the situation with this young man. Hold on. I do not like how this look. Let me just, sorry. This young man upset the entitlement of some of these young kids on these games. Like literally, like we have to stop allowing these kids to just be playing these games all day long. And then they're seeping in these games that is murder, murder, kill, kill, murder, murder, kill, kill all day. So some of them don't know how to differentiate reality and non-reality anymore. And remember, we living in a matrix right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he disrespected his mom. He was wrong. He don't pay. I bet you he's 16. I bet you any amount of money he don't pay the majority of the bills. And then he gets upset because he changes the Wi-Fi code so nobody else could use it. So he could play the game, and then disrespects his mom like, you better move or I'll hit you. Oh, so the sister is looking at him like, hold on, because she is holding him accountable and protecting her mom. So he hated his sister the entire time. This shows you that he hated his sister the entire time, because there's no way his little 13-year-old brother is saying, dude, snap out of it. What are you doing? Stop. And he never stopped. Even when the police came, he never stopped. He continued to put her in a chokehold, and the police came. This is insane. And the first thing that they said was he on medication? Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue this story. I just had to, I just had to talk about that. So let's continue, shall we?
Sister to death during a fight over a Wi-Fi password.
According to evidence in the case, in February of 2018, a then 16-year-old Kevon Watkins was arguing with his mom because he changed the Wi-Fi password to play video games. His sister Alexis stepped in and then started fighting.
According to testimony in the case, Kevon placed his sister in a chokehold for about 15 minutes. Deputies say she was still in the chokehold when they arrived on scene. Alexis died in the hospital later that night.
The judge acknowledged that during the time Kevon had his sister in a chokehold, she must have stopped moving, but apparently the defendant didn't notice because he was still angry. As the court delivered its verdict, District Attorney David Cook expressed hope that justice would bring some semblance of closure to Alexis's loved ones. However, no sentence could ever fully heal the wounds left behind by such a devastating loss. As the sentence echoed through the courtroom, Kevon Watkins cried alongside his family seated on the benches. Before being escorted away, Kevon was offered a chance to speak, but amid his tears, he only spoke the words, "I'm sorry." During the investigation, Kevon Watkins disclosed that he and his sister fought almost daily. The judge expressed regret before delivering the sentence, acknowledging that the adults in Kevon's life had failed him by not instilling discipline or teaching him how to manage his anger. In this household, disorder was allowed.
Okay, we're going to stop it there. Now, you heard that the judge said that the adults failed him. First off, it wasn't Alexis' job to develop him. Okay, the adults should be the male and the mom and the dad. We don't know if the dad, well, I guess he is in the picture. That's him, or there was a male figure, in the picture. But I totally agree. And this is what I feel is the breakdown in a lot of households right now, is because of the fact that we are in a different time. Of course, in the times that I was growing up, I couldn't get away with anything. Like, my mom was extremely strict on me, and the people that grew up with me know this. But of course, you're gonna find ways to get around because of the strictness. But now I feel like it's like way overboard, where the parents are just allowing everything, or they're trying to be friends with these young kids instead of being their parent. And it could be because the age gap is different now too. Like, there's a lot of younger parents that is similar in age with their children, and that's mentally as well as physically. So then you have situations where, I grew up in a lot of dysfunction. So my mother she definitely, I ain't gonna say she was an angry parent, but one thing you say wrong, or you could just you could look at her wrong and she was ready to snap. So I grew up in fear. You know what I'm saying? And that is an unhealthy trait to have. And that's why counseling is so important, because it is a generational situation. It's a generational thing. You know what I'm saying? And this young man definitely did not grow up in a household of love, but what he did for the password or the Wi-Fi and the what is that game called? The Xbox. That was totally a life of entitlement that he had. And listen, what they say, spoil the rod, spare the child. I don't know, but let me tell you this: a spoiled child becomes extremely rotten. Okay. All right, we'll move on.
To flourish, Colvin stated. In this household, the ability to ignore and follow corrective discipline was empowered. Judge Colvin also said that Kevon's case was a horrible example of what excessive and obsessive gaming can do to a person. She said that Kevon's addiction to his game and his disregard for his family's needs led to the tragedy. She urged him to use his time in prison to get help and to educate others about the dangers of gaming addiction. What happened to Alexis should have never happened. She was just trying to defend her mother from her brother's rage, and sadly, that rage cost her her life, and now a precious 3-year-old little boy is without a mother. An argument over a video game should never end in murder. My condolences to Alexis's friends and loved ones. Her memory lives on as a reminder of the preciousness of life and the tragic consequences of unchecked anger and violence within families. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
And that is correct. Unchecked anger, constant, situations where, there's constant disrespect. And that's why I was saying, like earlier on, it's about energy. It has nothing to do with blood. It has nothing to do with none of that. It's about energy. It's about people who really like care for you. You will feel that connection. You will know that this person has your best interest. There will be action shown. There will be respect in conversation. There will be, all of that. And that goes in the household on every level, and so I just want, honestly, I really just want to, before I leave this earth, I want to 100% know how it feels to like love and be loved, on every level. Now, I will say that, and shout out to my grandma Peyton. Okay. Um, I she has shown me what unconditional love looks like and feels like, and on every level, every single level. And so I will say that, but um it wasn't enough for me because of the fact that I was being raised all over the place. I was with my mom sometimes, with my different grandmothers sometimes. I didn't live with my uncles. It was just I was getting poured into from a lot of different adults on different levels for different reasons. And the majority of my pouring into was a survival mode pouring into instead of, a softness. So I was always defensive. And that's why once we get into a certain level as adults, like the mother of Alexis, I don't know if she was in counseling. I don't know how that household was. But once we get into a certain level of adultness, there should be a self-awareness that makes us want to better ourselves, regardless of how we were raised, instead of making excuses as to us being raised a certain way. And that's why we lash out, or that's why we do this, or that's why we do that. Man, there are so many things that I'll probably be buried with that I would never share. But I will say this. If I told people exactly like my life, like my entire childhood or whatever it may be, their mouth would be open with a bunch of flies in it. Okay. And you're looking at somebody that is doing the work, that is working extremely hard to be a better person. And I am definitely someone that will not go back on any level when it comes to certain emotions that I may have. I will walk away and never look back before I go back into anything that I feel will harm me or will make me have to be out of pocket with other people. That's how we have to move as women too, because of the fact that we are dying at a rapid rate by the hands of people that we know. The hands of people that we know, people we work with, people we love, people that's family, and one is because of the fact that most men can overpower us on strength in certain things. And then we just have such a strong disconnect in our community when it comes to being protected. So that is an open door for so many other people to feel like, oh, yeah, it's easy to, do this to a Black woman. It's easy to do that to a Black woman. And then we are desirable to a lot of people that traffic. And when I say traffic, I mean organ, I mean all of that. So don't get me started. All right. I'm sorry, I just had to go through that wormhole, but this is a conversation we're having. So I hope that you ladies have like some friends out there that you're having conversations with, or even like talking with men that you love, men in your life, and having these discussions as to why are we this way? Why is there so much hate, in our community, when it comes to men and women, disrespecting each other, not loving each other. It's really bad. I don't know. But this one is about to rip your heart out. So please, I'm just going to not be on here for this one. This one was a hard watch because this situation is a toddler by the name of Bella Jordan. And I just want to say rest in peace, baby girl. We just going to go ahead and I'm going to show y'all this one and then we'll discuss it. All right, that's better.
Who's the other car? Right here. You got that one? Right here. Jack your head a little bit.
A woman had been beaten in a violent fight. Her daughter called 911. That's when investigators learned the suspects had taken her daughter. One of the suspects, the child's dad. Deputies found the two men 3 hours later at an apartment complex on Old Clinton Road.
The sheriff's office says one of them is the child's father, 19-year-old Akeem Jamal Jordan, and the other, 21-year-old Raheem Devar Farrell.
Just after 3 a.m. on February 14th, deputies located a vehicle at the Timber Point Apartments in the 2000 block of Old Clinton Road after responding to a BOLO alert. Upon closer inspection of the vehicle, they would locate two adult males, with one of them holding an unresponsive female toddler.
Just after midnight, deputies responded to a find in the 3800 block of Flamingo Drive.
The victim was identified as 1-year-old Bella Jordan, who was sadly pronounced dead at the scene after succumbing to multiple wounds to her body, just months shy of her second birthday. According to Bella's mother, Chandria Spencer, the entire scenario began just after midnight when deputies responded to her mother's home in the 3800 block of Flamingo Drive after Bella's father, 19-year-old Akeem Jamal Jordan, assaulted her mother and then fled the scene with Bella. Bella's grandmother was taken to a local hospital for treatment, and the BOLO was issued for Akeem in his white vehicle. The vehicle was located roughly 7 miles away from where the fight took place. A look into Akeem Jordan's past revealed that on April 29, 2023, he was charged with stabbing Bella's mother because she began dating someone else while the couple was on a break, possibly one of his close friends. It all started while the two were going prom shopping. When they returned to Akeem's house, they walked down a dirt road to talk. This is when things turned violent. Akeem began crying before pulling out a dagger from his pocket that he had gotten as a part of a sword set that he ordered from Amazon. He then began attacking Chandria, stabbing her repeatedly as she begged him not to kill her. He finally stopped when she told him to stop because they had a child together. Chandria managed to limp back to Akeem's home, where his mother immediately took her to the hospital. Akeem's mother informed deputies at the hospital that she wasn't sure what happened and that Chandria had shown up to her home bleeding and asking for help. 2 months later, in June of 2023, he was indicted for the attack and charged with aggravated assault and knife possession during a felony.
The family of 20-month-old Bella Jordan are still picking up the pieces a day after she was killed. They say that they're still trying to process what happened. Family members did not want to speak on camera, but they said they were cleaning up the home after the gruesome attack early Wednesday morning. LaKenya Hutchings says Janet Dorn, the woman 19-year-old Akeem Jordan attacked, is her mother and lives at the Flamingo Drive home. She says Jordan and another man, Rahem Farrell, stabbed Dorn in the head and arms. Hutchings says her mother is in the hospital and stable. She says Jordan visited his daughter at the home often and had custody of her last week. Hutchings says she doesn't know why he would kill his own daughter. Macon-Bibb Deputy Coroner Lonnie Miley says Bella was badly beaten and had multiple stab wounds when deputies arrested Jordan.
2 men were quickly arrested for the murder of Bella Jordan, her 19-year-old father, Akeem Jamal Jordan, and 21-year-old Raheem Devar Farrell. Jordan is charged with murder and 3 counts of aggravated assault. Farrell faces murder and aggravated assault charges. It was around 3 a.m. when Macon-Bibb Deputy Coroner Lonnie Miley was called to the scene, describing the scene as the most horrific scene he has ever seen in his 34-year career. Neighbors were left shocked and confused, as they had no idea that a homicide even occurred.
The sheriff's office says that the toddler's mother, Chandria Spencer, reported the fight around midnight. Now, Spencer says that Jordan fought with and injured her mother and then took their daughter, Bella. Deputies later caught up with Jordan, the daughter, and a third person at the Timber Point Apartments on Old Clinton Road. It was 3 a.m. The Bibb Sheriff's Office called Macon-Bibb Deputy Coroner Lonnie Miley out to 2050 Old Clinton Road.
I was just told that it was a homicide. I had no idea that it was going to be this horrific scene.
Miley says when deputies arrived at the Timber Point Apartments to arrest 19-year-old Akeem Jamal Jordan, 20-month-old Bella, Jordan's daughter, was still in her car seat.
She had various injuries on her. It's terrible to see her like that.
Miley says over his 34-year career, he's seen many gruesome crimes and scenes, but the ones with kids you never get used to.
I can't imagine somebody doing this to this innocent child who was just a couple months short of her 2-year-old birthday.
We spoke to the neighbors in the apartments about what happened. Most said they did not know that the homicide had happened at all, but all were shocked to hear of the sad news.
It is a sad statement on this day, which is Valentine's Day, and it's supposed to be about love.
And seeing that child like that, I mean, from a mental standpoint, it does something to you.
Jones says often love is not what it seems.
Domestic situations are very touchy. You can be lovey-dovey in the street and raising Cain at the house.
Violent crime in Macon dropped dramatically last year. Mayor Lester Miller's MVP program is being credited with that drop.
One of the first calls I got this morning, right off the bat, was Lester Miller. This man is concerned about the crime in our community.
According to an incident report, Spencer told officers that during a break in their relationship, she told Jordan she was seeing someone else. She said he started crying and then stabbed her with a small dagger. In Macon, Jessica Cha, 13W.
Listen, and I just want y'all to know these are my opinions. Everybody has one. These my opinions. This is my thoughts, my feelings, and I'm just sharing them with you guys in hopes that some of you can engage with me on your opinions if they're different, or agree with me if you feel the same in a sense, okay? But Valentine's Day, because she left him and wanted somebody else, he wanted to unalive her because of that. 19 years old. These are just key points. 19 years old. Disrespected and tries something to do something to the mom, and retaliation with the toddler, and My goodness. What is happening? I really feel like there's something in the water, the weed. There's some type of new drug going on that got everybody conked out. I don't know. Listen. I'm definitely far removed from a lot, trust and believe. So I don't know what happens anymore in that world and space. But 19 years old, 19 years old, 19-year-old man, because she was ready to move on. I just hope that there's a man that's out there that's watching this and that's looking and looking at the pattern of the situation. And one is the majority of these, like the majority of the clips that I'm showing, it seems like it's very young men, teenagers. It's still teen behind it, 19, 16, not fully developed, living in a way more modern society than and fast culture than it's ever been before. Everything is short content, short term, short this to enable ADHD. You have the video game situation. You have so much other addictions that's out there, whether it's social media addictions, sexual urges and addictions because of, this modern society being even more highly sexual than ever before. And I'm just talking about just everything. Like, what is it? What can we do as a people what can we do? Like, can we create way more and invest way more into nonprofits that is focused on childhood counseling and mental health? What can we do? Because it starts early. Okay. That was Bella Jordan, toddler. Okay. Now this next one is and I definitely don't agree with this. This young lady, she was an aspiring rap artist, and she got hemmed up by two men and they tried to throw the book at her. I don't understand this. This is what I'm talking about. We're never protected. I want y'all to check this out.
The eyes following me. These my haters, y'all. These my haters. Look at all my haters watching. The haters watching. The haters watching.
This is the story of Cavani Hicks, an aspiring female rapper who dreamed of making it big in the music industry. Her life took a dark turn when a heated argument with her manager escalated into a physical altercation, resulting in Cavani moments later shooting her manager to death and shooting at another male who was also involved in the altercation. This horrific incident was all caught on camera. This tragedy would forever change the lives of all of those involved and have everyone asking, was this a case of self-defense or cold-blooded murder? Welcome to Crime Corner. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. This story takes us to Miami, Florida, a vibrant city known for its diverse culture and lively atmosphere. In this very city, a tragic incident unfolded, involving Cavani Hicks, an aspiring female rapper with a tumultuous journey. Cavani Hicks, a 27 years old, young and ambitious artist, was striving to make a name for herself in the music industry. Despite facing challenges, she was determined to pursue her passion for music and establish her place in the competitive world of rap.
Keep running. Look. About time, it's about time. Feeling like I can stop time. Red dots go 4 ways. Looking like it's a stop sign. Been on top of that mountain, all you weak niggas ain't rock climb. Been fanning my haters up. Hang it up like a drop line. I don't know why these niggas act like I ain't start a new wave. Can't let no weak nigga ever blind me out to find the things. I pull it back and make it drop, and now you full of pain.
Hicks, a mother of 2 children, balanced her music career with the responsibilities of motherhood, showcasing her resilience and dedication. Known for her tenacity and creative spirit, Cavani Hicks poured her heart and soul into her music, using it as a form of self-expression and empowerment.
When you a rapper that plays piano,
Listen, this girl was ultra talented. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, she was spitting a little bit, but to display this amount of talent, man, okay.
Her dynamic personality and unwavering drive set her apart in the industry, garnering attention for her raw talent and unique style. Hicks's journey was marked by highs and lows, reflecting the complexities of chasing dreams while navigating personal responsibilities. As a mother, artist, and individual on a quest for success, Cavani Hicks embodied strength, passion, and determination. Her story is one of ambition, perseverance, and the pursuit of artistic excellence amidst life's challenges. In Cavani Hicks' life, there was a significant individual, her manager, with whom she had a professional relationship. On October 9, 2023, Cavani Hicks, also known as Kivani, was involved in a fatal shooting incident in Miami. The shooting occurred after a heated argument between Hicks and her manager, which escalated into a physical altercation. Surveillance footage captured the manager and another man in a physical altercation with Hicks, throwing her to the ground before she retrieved a gun from her bag and
Okay, I want y'all to track with me on this because I want you guys to see the case, and I want you guys to hear what the judge says when she gets sentenced. Okay. Now you just heard that two men jumped on this girl, and y'all see her frame. So you see she probably got a little small frame. You could tell she not super like masculine. They jumped on her. Why don't they like us? What is happening? You can't tell me that men like us when it's too many situations happening showing that they don't. Okay. So continue to, and for copyright reasons, I'm stopping because I'm hoping that this whole thing go through because I just got back in. I done seen these videos a little bit, but some things I just brushed through. So I'm kind of seeing them for the first time with certain things. And I'm like, oh, but guys, just track with me on this. So y'all heard she had her pistol. Two men jumped on her. Let's finish it.
Fired multiple shots at her manager and the other individual. The altercation escalated to a point where Hicks felt compelled to defend herself, leading to the fatal shooting of her manager. The other individual hopped in a white vehicle and runs over Kivani as he tries to flee the scene.
We're learning more about what led up to a deadly shooting near Wynwood Walls early Monday morning.
NBC6's Amanda Placencia joins us live with the latest. Amanda. Yes, Shawan, and it turns out that this shooting, which happened here in Wynwood, was reportedly a fight between a local rapper and her manager. And now the question for investigators is whether this was self-defense or second-degree murder. A heated argument landed Cavani Hicks in jail after she's accused of shooting and killing a man.
You were arrested for 1 count of second-degree murder.
According to records on Sunbiz, the local rapper known as Kivani is a manager of a recording studio called Pretty Thug Music. Police say the fight was with her manager.
We know that based on her statement that the victim in this case, is her manager, and she says that she's a singer. But we don't know what led to this argument.
Police say they got a shot spotter alert around 1:30 Monday morning on Northwest 2nd Avenue near Wynwood Walls. Based on witness statements and surveillance video, which has not been released by police, Hicks and the driver of a white Lexus got out of the car and were visibly upset and began arguing. First, the driver hit Hicks, throwing her to the ground, and then the alleged victim, her manager, also gets out of the car and beats her.
Judge, it's clear from the arrest form that Ms. Hicks is being attacked by 2 men, plummeted to the ground, basically.
Once the attack ended, police say Hicks took out a gun and started shooting at her manager. He later died at the hospital. The singer told police that she was in fear for her life.
When Ms. Hicks meets with the officer, she indicates that the alleged victim told her that "I'll kill you in 1 hit," which would obviously make anyone afraid for their life.
Hicks was also hit by the white Lexus as a driver took off. Whether or not this was self-defense will be up to the court as a judge found probable cause.
This is a case that if she had shot him when he was beating her, she probably could have been justified. But the fact that he was retreating at the point that she started firing at him, it becomes where she...
This is what I don't understand. Y'all make me understand this. This man said if he hit her, he could kill her with his... This is what I'm saying about men having a certain strength to overpower us. And they know this. They already know this. Psychologically, mentally, they know this. And still do what they do to us, right? Okay, so he threatened her right then and there. That was pretty much kind of like a premeditated thought. And who wouldn't bust as a woman, 2 men? And then of course the retaliation is going to happen because evidently this was some street stuff. Okay, so she already knew she had to unalive him because that was going to come back and she was going to get unalived. But for the police to say that if he wouldn't have been leaving or whatever, okay, just all right.
Committed the offense that she's being charged with.
Despite claims of self-defense from Hicks and her attorney, the judge ruled that there was probable cause for second-degree murder charges against Hicks. She was arrested and faced charges of second-degree murder with a weapon. The incident occurred near the 2400 block of Northwest 2nd Avenue in Miami. Police responded to a shot spotter alert just after 1:30 a.m. and found a man lying on the pavement in front of a home suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to his torso and lower extremities. Both Hicks and the victim were transported to Jackson Memorial Hospital's Ryder Trauma Center following the incident. Unfortunately, the victim was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital, while Hicks was being treated for non-life-threatening injuries of blunt force trauma. Hicks claimed self-defense during police interviews, stating that she feared for her life due to the victim's size and threats he made during the altercation. Despite her claims of self-defense, Hicks was arrested and faced charges of second-degree murder with a weapon. She was later released on bond while awaiting trial. In bond court proceedings, Hicks' public defender argued that it was a clear case of self-defense, emphasizing her fear for her life during the altercation. The judge granted Hicks a $50,000 bond plus house arrest as she awaited further legal proceedings. The family and loved ones of both Hicks and the victim were undoubtedly affected by this tragedy. The loss of life and the circumstances surrounding the incident would have left them with a sense of grief, confusion, and a desire for justice. the family of the victim may have been left with unanswered questions and a sense of injustice, while Hicks' family and loved ones would have been concerned for her well-being and the legal proceedings she faced. To prevent such tragedies, it is crucial to address the root causes of conflicts and to promote effective communication and conflict resolution strategies. Additionally, ensuring that individuals have access to mental health support and resources to manage stress and emotions can help prevent escalations of conflicts into violent situations. Thanks for watching.
Okay. Oh, man, I don't agree. I don't agree with this. I'm gonna just keep that 100. I don't agree with this. I don't agree. If you guys agree, or and tell me why. If you disagree, tell me why. But I don't agree with this at all, because, well, of course, the culture, and you can tell that the culture that she was in, it was street culture. So, I'm not going to make assumptions, because they didn't even know why this happened, or, what was the cause behind it, or they're not saying. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I think it was this, I think it was that. But judging from the video and what I seen, and then to have two grown men, did y'all see how they was handling her? Look at her frame. Like, I don't care what she said to them that struck a chord. If it was anything that had to do with conversation and her, just yelling, screaming, or saying something, hopefully it wasn't, she didn't, hopefully it was not that. Okay, for them to approach her with that type of force. I don't know. I just don't agree with the sentencing, but I don't know the whole story. And maybe I'll do some research on this one too, because this one seemed a little deep, and they were pretty vague with the situation. Okay, I see an eye out here. Thank you so much for whoever is watching. And it looks like Queen. What's up, Queen? Hold up. Thank you so much. It says, from what I heard, it was self-defense. I can see if she was under the influence, and he got shot for a reason. Absolutely right. It was self-defense. It was definitely self-defense. And it was, he had a premeditated thought, because he said before anything that he could hit her with one blow and kill her. That's pretty much what he said to her. Like, what was she supposed to do? Thank you. I appreciate that comment. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you watching too, sis. This is crazy. So I have one more video that I want to show you guys. And this video is, this one was a little hard watch too, because I'm telling you, young kids and, young teenage girls, those be the, well, any young teenager, but the innocent girls that just be, innocent bystanders, or even just a form of retaliation happening, so they lose their life and can't be able to see another day. That is crazy to me. So this is about Janiyah Scott, and it says that the assailant was actually retaliating. It was a Facebook retaliation. So let's check this out.
We must all take a stand. When a child's life is taken from our community, we must come together and demand justice. Amen. I ask for you to repeat after me. Justice for Janiyah.
Justice for Janiyah.
Justice for Janiyah. You know, we can't continue to say we love each other when we really don't. We all know that there's someone out there that knows who took this child's life. And because we have some code on the streets, people refuse to speak for this child. So I'm going to tell you to do me one favor and speak for her. Don't do it for me. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for Janiyah, because she deserves justice. That baby didn't deserve to die the way that she died. Her life did not have to end the way that it did. She had so much that she was looking forward to.
Today's episode goes into the heartbreaking case of Janiyah Scott, an innocent 11-year-old. A man named Stephen Powell shot and killed Janiyah when she was seated on the couch with her sister and cousin. This tragic occurrence has left her family and the community wondering why somebody would wish to kill such a little child. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Janiyah's family and friends. It lies in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains and is known as the Electric City for its pioneering use of hydroelectric power. Janiyah Jarvasia Scott was born March 4, 2008. She was born to Marcella Rice and Jarvis Scott. Janiyah attended the Whitehall Elementary Primary School. People who knew her characterized her as kind, sweet, a dancer, and a YouTuber. When the incident occurred on June 23, 2019, Scott, her older sister, and her cousin were seated on the couch. An individual shot Janiyah 35 times at her residence on West End Avenue in Anderson.
Did you hear that? 35 times. 35 times. Okay.
She lost a lot of blood rapidly after one of the bullets passed through her right shoulder and damaged an artery. But in her darkest hour, Janiyah was not the only person shot in her house. In addition, her cousin, who was Janiyah's age, was shot and suffered serious injuries. Her older sister was also injured. However, Scott's cousin and sister have both made a full physical recovery. Her brother, 20, was on the front porch, yelling for help, when the cops came in response to a 911 call on the shooting. While inside the house, Rice's mother pleaded with the cops to assist her child. The 11-year-old cousin and Janiyah's 18-year-old sister who were nearby needed to be taken to AnMed Health Medical Center, where they both managed to live. In the hospital emergency room, 11-year-old Janiyah was found dead less than an hour after the incident. Following an inquiry, Stephen Powell was taken into custody by the police. After an intriguing social media post that seemed to contain a confession regarding the incident, Stephen was taken into custody. Information in the post seemed to suggest that Janiyah's relative was the target of the shooting in reprisal for a robbery. After the post was swiftly removed, another one appeared stating,
and this what I'm talking about right here. Hold on, I gotta get on for this one. They snitching on social. This is why they're social media police now. Did they learn anything from the YSL? Okay, let me stop. But no, seriously, this is crazy. He put up a post saying what he did and that he was only doing it because he retaliating against somebody else. But you spraying up somebody's home. You not even, that's so cowardly. You don't even have enough guts to go toe to toe with this person. Don't get me started. Okay. We'll continue. I apologize.
The page had been hacked. A few hours later, Powell was apprehended, interrogated, and faced murder.
Not the page was hacked.
Powell was not acting alone, according to the police, who also think that someone had to drive him there and get him. They refuse to communicate because they are sure that there are people who know precisely what transpired and who is responsible for it all. The shooting is said to have involved the use of 2 weapons, a semi-automatic rifle and a pistol. There is no firearm that has been found since the incident.
A teenager is facing charges accused of killing an 11-year-old in Anderson. Janiah Scott and 2 other young people were shot at a home nearly 2 weeks ago. 7 News reporter Nicole Ford was there as the charges were announced for Stephen Powell, and she has all the details from the city jail.
17-year-old Stephen Powell walked into that courtroom to a crowd of people, each one a family member or friend, and each wearing a shirt saying justice for Janiah or stop the violence.
I'm going to give you some instructions, sir.
In an Anderson courtroom on Wednesday, a grieving mother stood before the teenager accused of killing her 11-year-old daughter with just one question.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you look
Talk
me in
to
my
me.
face and
Talk-
tell me
no,
why?
No, ma'am. Talk to me. Talk to me.
I just want to know why.
The judge cut off Janiah Scott's mother before 17-year-old Stephen Braden Powell had the chance to respond. This coming hours after Powell was arrested in Spartanburg.
I would like to express our appreciation to the Spartanburg County Sheriff's Office and Chuck Wright for their assistance. They located a suspect, Stephen Braden Powell. We did transport him back to the PD last night for questioning.
Nearly 2 weeks after the drive-by shooting on West End Avenue, Police Chief Jim Stewart says Powell is charged with Scott's murder and 4 other counts of attempted murder.
We do know there were 2 guns involved in this case, a pistol and a SKS rifle. So we know we have more than one suspect. We're still asking for the public to assist us by calling into Crime Stoppers. There is a $10,000 reward.
With the potential for more suspects, we went to the Crime Stoppers president to find out how someone with information can help stop the violence.
The individual who provides the tip is given a number, and that's all they're known by. We don't have any type of information that would allow us to track them or know anything about them.
In this case, it's a community effort, from a unity bike ride, a memorial walk, and generous donations. But there's still more that needs to be done.
Because we live in such a tight-knit community, and there's, people don't want to be referred to as a snitch. You're not a snitch in this situation. There are people who have.
Let's clear something up, people. Because as you heard him say, people don't want to be labeled a snitch. Let me just say this, okay? Let me just get this right. If you are not in the streets, you are just a model citizen trying to raise your family. Matter of fact, hold on. I'm gonna need a fuller lens for this conversation, because I'm in y'all might not agree with me, but I'm gonna keep this all the way 100. This is what one of the problems is right here. And this man just saying, this is a tight-knit community and nobody wants to be labeled as a snitch. Okay. You mean the entire community is street oriented and selling drugs or doing something illegal? That only applies to the underworld. The underworld. That's the culture of an underworld. That is not everyday culture of my grandma or different people that have never experienced living in the underworld. Now, I'm going to keep it 100 because I have lived in the underworld. I still have a certain code. But let me tell you. Okay. You mess with my family, daughters, if I had a daughter or something like that, I have to temporarily go back down to the underworld for a second. That's all I'm going to say. You understand what I'm saying? I'm looking dead at this camera. because I already know what time it is with me. I will have to creep down back to the underworld to handle my situation and then come back up as a model citizen, if you catching my drift. But what I'm trying to say is that I really don't feel like people that just live everyday lives, that's trying to do their thing and trying to be better, they are not considered snitches. That was a name in a culture for people that actually live in doing something that is separate from having a normal life. Okay, that's how I feel about it. I don't know about nobody else, but you come from my grandma talking about she a snitch, we gonna have some issues. You shouldn't have been doing what you was doing in front of her. Now, if she calls somebody, she's a citizen patrol block watcher, so you better leave her alone. You understand me? All right. Okay. I just had to put that out there. This is the end of the show, and I'm sharing my thoughts and how I feel and my opinions. These are my opinions. I would love to hear from you. Thank you, Queen, for engaging with me on this. And we're going to finish the rest of this and before we get up out of here. Okay.
Lost loved ones.
That's our Nicole Ford reporting. The $10,000 reward for this murder was money that was donated by a local businessman hoping to put a stop to the violence in their community. It will not be claimed in this arrest, but it is still available if more people are charged.
A significant development in the case for Anderson police came more than a year after Stephen Powell's arrest. The second individual, 21-year-old Desmond Bruton, was taken into custody and accused of murder. In addition, Bruton faces 4 counts of attempted murder, one for each survivor that shared the home with Janiyah. Furthermore, he faces charges for carrying a weapon during a violent incident. But according to Bruton, he is not familiar with Scott's family. The nature of Bruton's relationship to Powell is unclear, but investigators continue to insist that Stephen needed assistance in order to kill Janiyah. Scott did not deserve what happened to her. At 11 years old, she had her entire life ahead of her. May her family be blessed with the courage to move on from this terrible experience. If you would like to stay.
Okay, and I'm putting a pin in this because Queen, I want to talk about this, what you just said. Now, okay, somebody came forth, 10,000. How much you want to bet is somebody from the underworld? How much you want to bet? You understand what I'm saying? Wow. They trying to say to keep a code. Ain't nobody keeping no code no more. I just seen a video with this dude snitched on his whole crew for a sandwich and a pop. Okay. For a sandwich and a pop. This is a true story. This is a part of this is insane, another story, but okay. You understand me? And here I am. I'm not gonna hold you up. I almost did time for somebody that I loved. Because when they came and kicked my door in, I wasn't saying nothing. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You understand? That's the code that I live by, because that's the generation I come from, and that always will exist in me. However, I bet you any amount of money that person was from the underworld that took that 10 stacks. That's what I'm talking about. Now then, and then this is why I said put a pin, because when you said that people are too scared to talk, yes. And that is what is wrong right now, because of the fact that the underworld decided that they were going to extort just everyday people that's trying to live their lives, and to create that snitching culture into the everyday life of other people. So now that culture is connected to the underworld and people in the civilians that's trying to live their everyday lives, because they have been extorted, they have been threatened, there has been some situations where people have lost their lives behind it to put fear into other people. And I don't feel that that's right. But I will say this, there are people that be talking about what they'll do, what they won't do, and all of that. But if it was a situation that happened with their family, then that changes the game. Either you in the game or you're not. All right. That was the end of that story. And you so funny. You said what, 10,000? My truck costs more than that. Girl, listen, inflation, the hood, girl, listen, not everybody got it like you, queen. But I feel what you're saying now. You know what I'm saying? But they better flip it, stack it, and hold on to it once they got it. And anybody that's out there that's got a candle, just make sure that tonight that you light your candle for these women. Light your candle for all these beautiful women that and children that I showed tonight. I thank you for coming to the first episode of Protect Black Women season 2. And Queen, I need some music too. I need like some copyright, some music that I won't get in trouble to use in my background. So I'm putting it out there since you already out here. So I'm gonna need some music for my show. Okay, let's talk about that outside of this. But I just want y'all to know that I appreciate it. I will talk more about the Mahogany Jackson situation the next episode. I think that I'll probably show lesser clips of other things and we discuss more of Mahogany Jackson, since I do have that video footage, cell phone video footage. And I'm just going to discuss that as well as the entire case, do some more research and digging on that and give you guys my thoughts of that, because we have to be careful about who we allow in our lives, like seriously. But the messed up part is that she grew up with some of them people. She been knowing them forever, and it's a small city. And that's why it's so important to base your relationships on energy, discernment, connection, praying about them. And that's relationships, that's friendships, that's business, that's whatever. Because 9 times out of 10, if your intuition is telling you this person ain't right, they ain't real, they might have something that you want at the time, but that's nothing but the devil dangling a carrot in front of you. And you might be able to get the actual blessing from God if you deter that dangling carrot. So you have to be aware of that as well. All right. Now we're gonna go and get on up out of here. But thank you once again. And just so y'all know, I love y'all and I mean it. All right, sisters, make sure y'all have y'all little viewing party for the next episode. And y'all, how y'all whine and y'all discuss this, because we got to figure out what is it and why are we not protected as women? Why, why are these young 16-year-old kids and boys and these 19-year-old men acting like boys? Why are they disrespecting us to the core? What is happening in our community that we are just being considered low-hanging fruit to people that we work so hard in protecting? Because you do know that 80% of the women are protesters and activists and be on the front line. Black women. Okay. So let's do the math in that. We so quick to protect, even when we are being harmed, even when we're being hurt, even when we're in bad situations with men, or, you know, we still protect their feelings. We still protect them. What is it? Why are we like this? And why do men hate us now? Like, I'm not saying all men, okay? I'm not saying all men, but what I'm saying is that this podcast is called Protect Black Women for a reason. And I'm trying to get down to the nitty gritty of it. And I'm trying to be transparent with women who, like myself, may have been in abusive relationships, suffered from abuse and had to seek counseling or whatever it may be. But I want this to be a safe space for us. So if you pick me, you picking the wrong podcast, okay? I'm sorry. All right. Okay, I'm going to get off for real. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Bye.
If you want to talk about guns, why is it that there's a gun shop on almost every corner in this community? Why? Tell you why. For the same reason that there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that.